the fabulous, the amazing, I forgot to research adjectives. What's that word? Incomprehensible? Not that. Come on, Daniel, help me out. Kevin, somebody.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
That's good.
Amazing. Okay. Kevin Ventura! Woo!
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time to be here, Kevin Ventura. Now, Kevin and I have a special relationship, okay? Kevin and I have done improv, okay? So I go to Station Theater as an alumni, and Kevin has been to Station Theater. We've both been on stage doing improv comedy. And not only that, but we've also been on the same stage doing stand-up comedy. So,
yeah,
Kevin and I, yeah, you remember. So, Kevin and I have a special relationship because, you know, we're both, well, he's a comedian. I'm just a wannabe funny lady. But anyway, you know, we love comedy. We love Bad Bitch, the movie. Obviously,
Yeah.
that was so great, so fun working with you. You were easy. You were cool. You were mellow. You followed direction well. And of course, we're also here with the extraordinaire Daniel Haynes, producer, director, screenplay writer, the man of many hats, and the creator of Bad Bitch. Say hello, Daniel.
I tried.
Mastermind.
Okay, cool. So we got Kevin Ventura and Daniel Haynes. Okay, so I guess I'll get it rolling. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about, I guess just tell us a little bit about your character in Bad Bitch. What was your
my character, you know, he's there for like a little bit and he gets killed. That's it.
I hate that you didn't have as much screen time as, you know, other people might have had. But you have to realize your character was a crucial part of the whole plot and film. Because if it weren't for you, then, you know, it wouldn't have been like, you know, evident of what was going on. You know, you're actually, if I don't recall, if I recall correctly, I'm sorry, you're actually in the first few scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Daniel, do you have any words for Kevin?
Yes. So your character was a crucial story, you know, because otherwise, how would Morgan leap off the edge, you know, and go?
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Do either of you have any? Do either of you have anything in the background like TV or radio on? Because I can hear something.
No.
I think it sounds like it's somebody's echo. Could be my echo.
It could be, yeah. It could be feedback from the microphone. Okay, let's keep it going. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just try to speak loudly so that my podcast and my live can hear you.
Yes. Okay. All right.
But yeah, his character is very necessary in order for Morgan to leap off the edge and go into that state of mind where she turns into a murdering pig.
Yikes.
Yeah, that moment was the moment where she, you know, she did what she did and she turned from nice to not so nice. And it was because of your character that threw her, you know, over the edge, in my opinion. Like, well, not just that, obviously, but it's just so many intricate things in this plot and so many twists and turns and you know, it's amazing. So, okay, let me ask you this. You know what? I saw you on a video for, was it Believe Productions? Did you do a movie with Believe Productions? Yes or no? It's like working with this guy that was actually at the Bad Bitch audition. Can't remember his name, but he's tall, dude with, black hair. I think he has facial hair. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Okay, tell us about
I
the
know,
work
I
that
know who you're
you
talking
have
about. His
done.
name is Vince, right? Vince Malloy, is
Yes,
that his name?
yes,
Yeah.
Vince Malloy.
I
You
mean, I did
worked
like
with him.
I went to like, I mean, he invited me to like be on his little short film and stuff like that, and we did it in like this theater. I think it's in Dickinson, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun experience. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was like, man, he's a good director and all, and had fun. And like the co-stars. I mean, I only had like one co-star, and I think it was like this 15-year-old kid. And we were at this old theater, and then his little short story was about his experiences working at this particular theater. And it was like I had a lot of fun, by the way. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I wore some
you had
makeup.
more airtime, huh? You had more
Yeah,
airtime.
I mean, I haven't seen the end result, by the way. I mean, I don't know, for some reason. I mean, I like, for me, it's like whatever. Man, I haven't spoken to Vince since, so I mean, I hopefully he's doing good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Vince Malloy, do you remember him, Daniel Haynes? He was at the audition for Bad Bitch.
Vince Malloy.
He
Yeah.
was going to do the makeup for Bad Bitch.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
That's who we're talking about. Kevin did the little worked with him. I saw the video. I didn't see it anytime recently, but I saw Kevin there, and I was like, "Oh, you go, you do your thing, work it, work it." So that brings me to my next question: what work can we find you in, and what work are you going to be in coming up, upcoming? And do you have any upcoming projects?
I mean, for me, right now, I don't, I'm not really doing anything at the moment because of quarantine. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, I work and I'm just, writing some material. Take advantage of quarantine, write some material down, and when everything's over and when the bars and clubs open, I could, focus more on my stand-up comedy and, grow from there. Because I feel like, you know, I wanted to do stand-up since like last year. I mean, I think what got me into stand-up was just like the enjoyment of being on stage and being funny.
A lot of famous people get their start in stand-up, like
Exactly. Yeah.
a lot of people.
Exactly. Like right now, I'm an open micer, and I'm okay with that. It's all about learning, and I like, man, I'm meeting a lot of new people and stuff. I'm glad.
And you're young. I mean, you're young. You're in your early 20s.
Hmm.
Okay. So you have your whole life ahead of you. I'm a 41-year-old lady. So I'm a short time here. Like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. That's why I got such, hustle,
Exactly.
right? Because I gotta get it. Because I've missed too many years. I missed 20 years of my life doing
True.
that. So now that I'm sober 3 years, I can focus on, what's in front of me and my projects and, fun entertainment, artistry stuff
Right.
that I love to do, which is my favorite, my joy, my passion.
Hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. You're an essential worker, right? You're an essential worker, right?
Yeah. I work at a grocery store. It's called Jovi's. It's like 5 minutes from my house, and it's part of the HEB company. So I've been working there since August, and
Okay,
I
almost a
mean,
year.
I
yeah,
love
almost a year.
Must be working out then. That's great. I haven't had a job last longer than 3 months in the last
Right.
ever since I lost my career 3 years ago. That's a whole nother story.
Really.
Yeah, it's hard for me to keep a regular 9 to 5 job or a regular
Mm,
any blah 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 kind of
I
job. Like,
feel you. Yeah, I
it's
mean, like right now,
it's
like
money.
with me working there, it's like I'm not gonna work there forever, to be honest. I'm just there to, have a steady income. And plus,
Absolutely, we got to have our two hustles, our
Mhm.
day jobs and our other stuff.
And my
Our
dream,
passions
the
and
Like,
passion, like
and like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
yeah,
exactly.
day and night. What's that called? Alter ego. You know,
Yeah.
character. Like I'm Catherine, but I'm also Pink. I'm too, and I have to learn how to separate. I have to learn how to separate Catherine from Bad Bitch.
Hmm.
You know. So yeah.
So where did you get the name Pink Cloud 9, by the way?
Well, Pink Cloud 9 is a recovery term. Like,
Really? What does that mean?
in recovery, we use it a lot. Oh, I'm on a Pink Cloud 9. This feels like a Pink Cloud 9. And what it means is that we're high like a cloud, but we're sober.
Right.
That is just, I don't know why it's not blue cloud or purple cloud or gray. Well, I know why it's not gray cloud, but I don't know why it's not yellow cloud or sunshine cloud or whatever. Whatever it would have been, that would have been, because I was going to go with Rainbow Heart 8, because I love rainbows, I love hearts, and 8 is like the eternity. And I could have done Pink Cloud 8, but it just didn't have this like rhythm to it, like, whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you asking that. A lot of people don't. But yeah, it's a recovery term for sure. And because that's my root, that's my basic. That's where I came from, and that's where I never ever want to forget. Because if I start doing drugs or alcohol right now, everything's gonna go to poo. Everything.
Right.
So why 3 years has been the best 3 years of my life. So yeah, Daniel, you're up.
Okay, Kevin. I have a few questions for you.
Go ahead.
How did playing Dave challenge you as an actor? I know it wasn't a huge role, but how did the small role challenge you as an actor?
I mean, it's like the first time I've ever, been on a. I mean, damn, man. I mean, what I've learned from being in the production and playing that role is, man, it's. I feel like it's a little bit. It's challenging because you get to do. I mean, consistency is key. I feel like you got to keep the continuity in, so that's why we're taking multiple takes and stuff. Because as a director, Daniel, you want that perfect shot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And as me and Catherine, since we're the actors, it's our important job to embody the characters that we play, so we can bring the story to life. And me playing Dave, I mean, yeah. I mean, even though it is a small role, and as y'all say, and as y'all said, it is very crucial because, I'm sleeping with your husband, and then you murder me. Like, wow. I mean, it was a really fun experience, and hopefully in the near future, I could, audition to some more movie roles or whatever, short films, don't matter. But right now, I feel like I want to stick to stand-up comedy right now, because I feel like it's like it's a new passion, because I've been doing acting since I was 15 or something like that. And in high school, I didn't do much of the theater stuff, but in junior year, I did speech and debate. And speech and debate, I didn't do the debate part of, but I did like the speech stuff. Like, there's a thing called interpretation. So basically, you take pieces of literature, it could be a play or a novel, and you cut it down to like 10 minutes and you perform it. So that's where I believe where I got my I want to say my, like, I let go the fear of being in front of crowds. So I wanted to feel natural and stuff like that. And from those experiences, I'm glad I've been doing that for like 4 years, because I started when I was a junior and I finished when I was, I believe, a sophomore in college. And it's fun. And then doing stand up, I feel like it's gonna be an adventure. And man, yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's like my first ever online interview, so I'm kind of nervous.
No, you're good.
Oh, Pshaw.
I'm just kidding.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You're amazing. You're a natural.
Exactly. I think it's important whenever you're doing everything, you got to follow your instinct. Even though people I mean, people will notice. It's all about just being yourself and being consistent, and don't procrastinate, because, man, I mean, since like before doing stand-up, I've been like a big procrastinator. And yeah. And I just been like, I love doing this, and then I switch it up. And then now, since I'm still at this young age, I still have more to come, but I want to be a stand-up comedian. And it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get out of college. And by the way, I dropped out. So I wanted to focus solely on stand-up.
I love it. I love it. What were you studying in college?
At first I wanted, I mean, I'm not, I mean, it was a man. To be honest, I went to a 2-year college called Lone Star College, North Harris. It's right near where me and Daniel live, and I was there mainly to get my basics,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was thinking, okay, maybe I could do theater, and oh my god, and maybe I could do English, but if anything, if I were to go back, I'll probably be an English major because I love words, you know, I love words, I love literature and all that. And with all that being said, it does tie into stand up because you do got to write down everything, you know, so it could be more authentic.
Yeah.
And then you can be funny. And I like being funny.
Yeah. I hear that. I mean, I try to be funny, so I understand,
I mean, you're funny, Catherine. You're good.
Only when the cameras are off.
Yeah. Aw, that's a good one.
No, but oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Daniel, would you like to ask something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so were there any hesitations or reservations about playing your character initially?
No, not at all. Not at all. All I had to do was just follow the directions and, you know, add in some things that, you know, in the character, I feel like it's necessary. So since the character is gay, so you got to be like, hey, lady, fuck you, bitch. Like, I didn't want it to sound nasally or anything. I wanted to be more, not flamboyant, but a little bit of pizzazz to it.
Okay.
You know?
You did great. You did great. You did.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
did great. And everything you apply yourself to, Kevin, you know, you
Yeah.
did great, and you know, you only have the stars to reach at this point in your life.
Mhm.
You know?
Yes. I may look older, but, you know, I'm 21 years old. Shit.
Yeah, you got a girlfriend, you married, you got kids.
No,
What's going
I'm
on?
single. I'm
Let
single.
let the
I'm
people
happy.
know.
I'm single and I'm happy. Please, guys, I'm single, and it's kind of suffering, but at the same time, you know, I love my independence. I still live.
But you're single, but and you're happy, which is great. I'm glad you're happy. But but one day you would like to settle down. Is that
Yeah.
something? But later, like maybe in your 30s.
I mean, the plan is for me. In my 20s, I wanted to be like my selfish years.
Yeah.
I could love a little. I could love a lot. I could dwindle with shit. And the plan is when I turn in my 30s, I feel like 34 is like the right age to have kids, or 35.
Yeah.
Because I want to be, you know, financially stable, emotionally stable, and mentally stable.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to say follow your passion and your dream. You always should, but you know, if you can somehow work at the store and get your college degree and do stand up, that would be really what's recommended, because if all else fails, you'll still have your college degree. If all else fails.
Yeah.
But I know you want to focus on stand up, so I get it. I get it.
Exactly.
And you should. You absolutely should. So let me just ask you about do you remember the audition process? You know how the audition, there was like 10, 15 of us, and we were there.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean,
Tell me about how you felt that day.
I was thinking it would be like the typical audition where you're you're standing in front of a table, and you got the casting directors and stuff, and then you read some lines, they record you, and that's it. And then they'll call you back. But with Daniel's audition, however, I felt it was no pressure at all. It's just a group of people, we all have something in common, and then we're doing these improv games, and it felt so empowering, to be honest.
I agree. Daniel did amazing. We planned an amazing
I mean,
audition.
it's a
Call
very
it an
different
audition
approach.
party.
Yeah, there you go. That should be you should really trademark that, Daniel, an audition party.
That's a good one, Catherine. I really like that. Come to the audition party.
Exactly.
That's code. That's code for sex party. No, it's not. Orgy. Just kidding. Daniel, do you have any other questions?
What kind of things did you experience during the audition? Like, were you able to connect with other people?
Yeah. I was able to network with some people, have conversation with them, and basically just meet new friends, because I've been hanging out with all the same old friends that I have for like 5 years and stuff like that. I mean, I do consider them my brothers, but it's good to meet some new people, new people that have something in common with you. Like then I love, the art of acting and film, and now I'm also meeting new people that are comics and and they are such characters. I'm like, okay, I'm in the right spot because I'm such a character myself. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see how this goes because I think I'm just here for the ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the initial way that I wanted to do the audition process, so people can actually connect with each other. Because
Exactly.
sometimes there's not a lot of things, especially places like Houston. It's not necessarily known to be a filmmaking community or an actor community. So like getting
Yeah,
together and being able to connect with other people is
exactly.
vital.
Networking is very important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, networking is important, but like, I feel like it's so difficult because like me, I'm always trying to be in like always trying to have integrity, be authentic, and naturally I'm just like a really aggressive person. Like not only am I assertive, I'm aggressive. Like,
Right.
and so for me it's like in certain networking situations I have to tone it down, or I feel like I should tone it down, or I've had to okay, here's the thing. When I feel like I have to tone it down, I feel like that's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
That
do you mean? Why?
project or
Why do
that
you say that?
or whatever. So it's really hard. But then again, I'm a larger than life, I'm like shock entertainment, person. So, it's a little bit difficult for me to navigate. But I want to ask you about this stand-up. How have you been handling the quarantine, being a stand-up comedian, being an actor, being a
Mm-hmm.
multimedia performer, multi-talented performer? How have you been dealing with quarantine in the last 2-3 months, being cooped up, not being able to perform, being able to
Mm-hmm.
get on stage, on nothing, theater, whatever?
Yeah. Well, basically, I just stayed at home and relaxed and do what I had to do. I mean, it let me just examine about what I did on my free time because during quarantine I did play a lot of video games. I did go out with my friends and hang out, especially when we weren't supposed to. But for some reason, we all knew that we weren't supposed to be out. So what we did was, okay, if we're gonna hang out, make sure we're like 6 feet away from each other.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, as far as the, I mean, it's all about safety. To be honest, I feel like since there is new cases going up and all of a sudden things are about to open up, I feel like it's way too early to open things up right now. Cause because we gotta, as they say in the news, flatten the curve and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
at least 100%. I mean, I think we could go back to somewhat of a normal
Hmm.
lifestyle, but we need to
Yeah,
be able to
exactly.
mitigate the risks still and take it slowly. Because if we jump in the deep end and we haven't learned to swim, then we're just gonna get swallowed by a shark.
True. Because there is, I mean, I mean, they say that the second wave is actually coming. I think it's like in June or maybe in
Yeah.
the fall. Because this
Oh,
whole
Lord,
thing is,
this is not where I wanted this conversation to go.
I know,
My question was
I
not
get you, I
how
get
did you deal with quarantine and quarantine because of quarantine. My question was how are you dealing with it as an actor, as a
as
performer?
an actor, performer,
Like
um,
because I've been cooped up. I've been like I can't perform. I got angry. I got mad. I got sad.
I mean, I
That
mean,
was
I mean, okay, okay. Here's a question, Catherine. What do you do? Okay, how are you dealing with the quarantine?
thank you. I appreciate you turning it back on me. Well,
I
I
mean,
have to thank you.
I've been doing good because I felt like I needed a break from going out. I mean, even though I still, I mean, the only places I go out is I mean, I do stay at home most of the time. Like whenever I'm off, I do spend more time at home cleaning, you know, doing the chores because, you know, I still live with my parents, so I gotta follow the rules. So yeah, so like I said, I've been writing a lot for my, you know, write some material down, make sure that if I have something funny right here, I make sure I put it in my notebook or I put it in the notes on my phone. Just
Are you using a app called Otter where you speak into it and it types everything, so it transcribes everything you say, and then you can play it back to yourself and listen to it?
no, I have not. Does it work?
Amazing. It's Otter, Otter. Check it
Oh,
out.
otter
It's
like the animal.
amazing. I started with that one.
Yeah. I and like during the quarantine, I'm it just been, you know, I mean, before quarantine, I would like go out to Montrose and just go shopping. To be honest, I mean, every like at work they pay me like every week, so I felt like, oh my god, I'm spending a lot of money on this. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I'm a shopaholic myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
So
I get
right
it.
now, I mean, wow, you know, I'm saving some good money. I mean, now, I mean, I feel like I want to like I told my parents that I plan on moving out before I turn 22 because that's the plan. Because I feel like, okay, it's time for me to grow up and watch myself. And I feel like my parents will be okay, but at the same time, my parents still love me, so they don't want me to leave anywhere.
Why would you want to spend a whole bunch of money moving out for? Like,
I
if you're
mean,
trying to save up money and trying to be financially stable for later on in
yeah,
life, I mean, why spend a whole bunch of money unless you want to have girls over and stuff like that all
yeah,
day to the hour, you know, all hours of the day and night, have
hmm,
parties and shit that you can't do at your parents' house, then I can understand. But if it's just,
yeah.
you know, I mean, just stay there as long as you, man.
True, 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 true. I mean, then again, I want to be by myself. You know, I want to enjoy my independence and solitude, and I mean, basically, just relax. Because right now, since both my parents, I mean, they do work in the mornings, and I do have a sister that's in college right now. It's mostly me whenever I'm here. So I feel like, okay, I'm inside of a prison. Get me out of here. And my only cellmate is my dog Luna.
Well, you know, I wanted to this interview to be a lot about getting to know Kevin Ventura, the real Kevin Ventura.
Exactly.
You know, so you know, which one of okay, after this question you can go, Daniel. Sorry. I
Okay.
just want to know these things.
Okay, cool.
Which one of the co-stars were you most nervous to work with? Which one were you most excited to work with? Which one scared you the most? Which
You
one
know,
what?
okay,
How did
okay.
you feel about
Here's,
the
here's the
co-stars?
truth, though. I wasn't nervous at all working with y'all. I was really excited because I knew I was gonna have fun because you guys are really cool people. So it was gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But when filming went on, you were the scary one, Catherine, to be honest. Oh man. Because how can you not be scared with a lady gonna like stab a knife on your chest? I'm like, because accidents do happen. Uh-huh.
Do you remember when we were filming and I was on top of you and
Yeah.
I was doing that scene and I stopped it. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not doing this anymore because it was a real knife. And I
it
was like,
was. Yeah,
this
but
is
hey,
not
then
gonna
it was
work out
the
perfectly right. I'm like, you got what you got.
uh-huh.
I can't anymore. If I hurt somebody, I can't live with myself.
So was
Thank
the
God for special
I
effects.
think yeah, I think I remembered that the knife was like taped up like on the tip so it won't really stab me and stuff like that.
I think that was probably a mistake on my part. Like I was trying to get too much of like realism in the shot. I wanted like that perfect shot, but it was just not working. Like the whole situation, and we just kept trying to get that perfect shot over and over and over. So I was like, so after Catherine was like, I can't do it anymore. I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to take what we have and mesh together a sequence of visual effect shots with fake blood. And so that's basically what I did. So that's actually going to be in the movie. and you'll see
Yeah, I mean,
like a quick hand that goes up, and then there's blood that splatters.
I mean, the fake blood felt so cold.
Yeah,
Once you
I'm
put
really sorry for your sacrifice for all the fake blood, because we're probably not going to use any of the footage.
But it smelled good though because it was chocolate.
Kool-Aid and fudge.
Kool-Aid and fudge. Hey Daniel, do you know how to make feces? I mean, like fake feces, not actual. Okay,
the perfect feces for a movie shoot. Like my cousin actually did it because she was into filmmaking and stuff in college, and took a Snickers bar.
A Snickers bar?
Yeah, and she kind of like melted it a little bit and then stuck it in the toilet, and it was like a shot of like a log of poop in the toilet. Something like,
That's crazy.
That works. Unless you want that little creamy top type feces, and you could probably like butter or ice cream or like buttercream.
You want to make it green or you want to make it brown? It's up to you, bro.
Well, it depends on what you eat.
Well, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Daniel, you can go on with your bad self.
All right. So my last and final question. What did you enjoy most about this project?
What I enjoyed the most? That's a very easy question. And I believe what I enjoyed the most is the people that I worked with, behind the camera, in front of the camera. Because making a film, regardless if it's $100 million or even $100, it's still, it's a team effort. Because everybody has to work together in order for the result to be great, Because, cooperation, then you have some love in it because you got to love what you're doing. Otherwise, it's like, okay, there's no passion. Okay, where is it? You got to, you got to be a little bit crazy. I feel like if you want to enjoy something, how far would you do it? I mean, well, I think I misquoted. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I had a brain fart.
It's okay. It's hard to memorize. Why memorize things when you got to memorize? You know what I'm saying? Scripts to memorize. Okay.
Exactly. I mean, I really enjoyed working with you, Daniel and Catherine. I mean, it was like a really enjoyable experience, and hopefully in the near future we could work together again.
Absolutely.
Well, Daniel, why don't you tell him about some of the in talks that we've had?
Oh yeah, so I'm thinking about doing like origin stories for some of the characters, like having like a Lunatic Logan standalone short film, or like a Big Bailey standalone short film. I mean, it all depends on the perception of Bad Bitch, and we'll see how that.
That's interesting.
But like, kind of make it like a little brand, kind of like Marvel, something like that, but a little smaller. It doesn't have to be as superhero-ish.
I predict that Bad Bitch is gonna hit big in about 10 years after the premiere. If you notice, a lot of really big, not the big movies that get all the marketing and promotion, but the really like the indie films, the short indie films that they, if anything, it takes anywhere between 5 to 10 years to kind of get that attention, because there's a lot, 10 years worth of buzz, 10 years worth of promotion, 10 years worth of marketing, 10 years worth of word of mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you're starting.
I mean, but I could be wrong. It could be immediate. I don't know. But the other thing I wanted to just make sure that you know is that, Bad Bitch is coming out with a premiere, sooner than we think. You know what I'm saying? Do you know about the time that we're predicting?
The release date?
So I mean, it all depends on this virus, but I'm hoping it'll end sooner than later, because I want to have an actual event where we can all come together again and have a fun time and sit down and watch the movie or whatever we have to do. I mean, I'm hoping if this shit isn't over by October, then I'm probably gonna go down another route. Like I may do something else, like put it online or something. But hopefully we don't have to get to that point, and we can actually have an event with people. Maybe we'll just do a damn drive-in. Like go out, like I'll rent like a space outside somewhere. We'll put up a screen, and then people can stay in their cars and watch the damn movie. Because
with all the coronavirus shit happening, I feel like we should open more drive-ins. Bring back the drive-ins.
Yeah. Well, Houston's trying to get one right now.
Yeah. I think that the nearest one is somewhere in Tomball, if I'm not wrong.
I think it's Showboat. Is it
Showboat?
Yeah, I heard about a drive-in or something. That's what my sister said. I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, this is not the same, but doesn't Discovery Green have movie nights? Discovery Park?
Yeah, they do, actually. They do. I mean, I think, if they were gonna do a movie premiere, like a movie today, they'll still probably keep their distance, because because I think it's somewhere in a like everybody sits down in the grass and everybody has like a good view of the screen.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what really counts. Because for me, to be honest, I am a theater goer. I love going to the cinema to watch movies. It's one of my favorite hobbies to do. For the past 2 years, I've been to the cinema for at least 3 times a month. Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally get it. But we'll see. I just kind of wanted to get you excited, get all of us excited about it's happening, and because it's the last scene was shot in October, and it's if it weren't for the quarantine, it would have already been released, so. I don't know, man. I've had a hard time with the waiting and waiting and waiting. I've never shown this degree of patience in my life.
Well, one good thing is since I'm waiting to do the actual premiere, I'm having a little extra time to perfect the visual effects and the sound and everything. So
give it that quality.
Yeah, so
that artistic, that signature quality of yours.
Yeah, so it gives me a little extra time to make the movie even better, and in Hollywood, they have these deadlines and stuff, and they would pray for something like this, not like people dying the virus, but I'm saying
the actual quarantining of time, not the actual of people.
So how long does it take to edit a film?
Well, maybe it really depends, but usually 1 minute of film to edit usually takes about a whole night. It's ridiculous sometimes.
Oh, really?
It really all depends too, because sometimes you get these people who are really good at editing and they can just go in there and go zip, 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 and then it's done. But some of it depends on what you captured. Sometimes you didn't get the shot that you wanted, so you kind of have to make up for that. So it really all depends how long it took. But after we shot the movie, I took a 2-month break just for my sanity. And then once I got back to editing and stuff, it took me a good, I want to say 4 or 5 months to just get the basic rough cut of the film.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end.
All right, guys, I do have a meeting coming up. If there's any other questions, Daniel, that you'd like to wrap us up with, please go right ahead.
Yeah.
Can't really think of anything yet.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, put you on the spot. I just wanted to know about the audition process, what you thought about it. I wanted to know about your stand-up comedy, how did you like being on the station theater stage doing improv?
It feels like I was back in high school or middle school, because when I was in theater class, we would do improv games, and none of us really gave a flying fuck what we did. Some of us, we would do outlandish shit, but heck, high schoolers in my generation, fuck, man, we were just crazy kids.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking back, I mean, damn, we were crazy, but now we're just mellow, grown, and calm.
That's good.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, I mean,
You're one of the most mellow people I know, which is super cool.
and then
Yeah, like
and then all of a sudden I go crazy all of a sudden and then just be a different character. I'm like, whew. But overall, I'm okay.
how do you feel? Let me ask you this: how do you feel about the difference in comedy between the improvisers and the stand-up comedians? Like,
Well,
do you see a wall? Do you see like a competition? Yes or no?
do I see a competition
Between the two genres.
between comedians and improvers? So
Stand up. They're all funny. It's all humor.
I mean, like overall, I mean, both of them. I mean, both both of them do fall into the same category, which is performance art. Because I do believe stand-up comedy, it is an art. Improv is an art. I mean, with stand-up comedy, you do got to write your material down, memorize it, and then, perform. Because obviously, if you're gonna get it right, the only thing you got to do is perform it right in front of an audience. Same thing goes with improv. I do believe improv is intense because you got to think of so many things like that. And I feel like, okay, this is a test. Let's test your skills on creating different situations, stories, characters, and all that. Because I feel like if it was a competition, I believe stand up would win, even though improv. I mean, some good comedians have came out from improv. I mean, I don't know who, like, I think, okay, John Belushi, they did improv. He did improv. Chris Farley did improv. I mean, like any kind of comedian, whether or not you want to go on improv, I believe improv is somewhat necessary for you to build stage presence.
I think it helps you too. Like I think they mesh
Exactly.
together really good. Like
Hmm.
they're both like improv actors and stand-up comedians. You can pretty much do both. Because they
Exactly.
work together like like
Yeah.
glue.
Like the crazy.
I didn't mean to say the word competition. I meant to say the word divide. Like a
Yeah.
divide. Now, I spent a lot of time before the quarantine. I spent about 6 months hanging out with stand-up comedians,
Hmm.
and I spent about 6 months hanging out with improvisers.
Mm.
So I got to see both worlds
Right.
mostly.
So
Oh
what do you
yeah,
think is
oh
what?
yeah. I
So
was at the clubs and the
were you
theater.
were you at the clubs in Washington?
I was at the Secret Group,
Yeah.
DJs, uh, Darwin's.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's one of my
On and
goals
on.
for 2021 is to like hang out with the comedians more.
Yeah,
Really get into it.
and so I did that. So, but I guess what I'll say is, some people do both improv
Hmm.
and stand-up comedy. But since you're going to be entering into that world, I'll tell you right now, the stand-up comedians that only do stand-up will have something to say about the improvisers.
Hmm.
And the improvisers that only do improv may or may not have something to say about stand-up comedians. There is a divide,
Hmm.
not in the actual, I'm talking about the people, the actual performers here in this
Right.
city. I don't know how it is in LA or
New
whatever,
York or whatever,
but
but
here, let me tell you, it's like, oh, you're an improviser. Oh, you're a stand-up. Oh, you think, you're a stand-up. Like, I've seen it like that. It's not pretty, I'll tell you. So my goal is to unite
Hmm.
the comedy.
Well, you see, some of the best comedians
Yeah,
come from both worlds, like Robin
exactly. I mean,
Williams.
I don't think, what okay, here's how I see it. I see it as I guess we could just say, okay, it's kind of like saying, hmm, so you have the comedians and the improvisers, improv. I think
Something to think about,
I
right?
think, yeah. Improv does fall into the theater world. You know what I mean? Because that's where some actors could, develop their skill is, can you think of this at the same time? comedians could fall in the same category as preachers and teachers.
Okay.
You feel me? Because both, I mean, both professions. Like, I mean, I think that I do kind of like, I want to develop my style from the standpoint of a preacher. You know, like preachers are like crazy and flamboyant and stuff like that. But then I feel like, okay, I like this one teacher from college, and like the way he uses his humor, but overall he was being himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I think improvers and stand-up comedians is you could unite them, to be honest. You can.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I mean, not like, hey, you know, let's get it together. It's just like just doing it by being me. Just
really be you.
And look, let me tell you, you can be both. You know, you can create sketch through the both of them together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be. You put the stand-ups here and the improviser here. It doesn't have to be that way. It's been that way for a long time. I don't really like it, to be honest. I want unity.
Like ever since the vaudeville days, ever since stand-up was ever created. Well, I think improv was created before stand-up, and then I don't know, man. I'm not that much of a historian.
There was the Greek theaters that they
exactly. Greek theater.
Back in like, you know, before.
Back in thousands of years later, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, you're right. So, you know, that's what I have to say about that for now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm good. Any final wise words?
Is it almost over? Oh, man, wow. Right on time.
Great discussion.
It's a really great discussion. And
thank you so much, Kevin Ventura, for your time, for your energy, for your love for the project of Bad Bitch. We're going to try to have Faustino Deblas and Flavian Ramos on next. That's what we're working on. You know, and everybody has got to just sit on their seats, wait for Bad Bitch. It's a comedy.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing these interviews for, because it's real. It's happening. We're not like, oh yeah, you know, no. It's happening. We promise you that. Okay.
Can't wait for you guys to see it.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see it.
Daniel hasn't even let me see it.
Ooh, Jesus.
You know how Daniel is. He's like, He's tough on me, which I like.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, I love you so much. I hope you have a great rest of the day. It's been so great working with you. I can't wait to work with you further in the future again. Can't wait to see y'all and hug y'all. All right?
All right, you too, Catherine.
All right, take care. We'll talk later.
All right, bye. Okay.